What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, and unfortunately, I have some sad news to pass on to you all. This has been going on far too frequently the last couple of weeks, but the Godfather of MMA, combat sports pioneer Gene Lebell, has passed away at the age of 89. Gene Lebell was widely credited for making grappling a popular discipline in combat sports. He was a beloved figure in the martial arts world, and his reach extended to multiple arenas, including judo, mixed martial arts, professional wrestling, and as a Hollywood stuntman. He won the heavyweight and overall amateur athletic Union National Judo Championships in 1954 and 1955 before eventually transitioning to professional wrestling. In more recent years, he became known for being in the corner of former UFC women's bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey. However, the list of people he has trained with include luminaries from multiple walks of life, such as Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Roddy Piper, the man you see in this picture here, Sylvester Stallone, just to name a few. Gene Lebell appeared in more than 1,000 movies and authored 12 books. He also served as an inspiration for the Cliff Booth character played by Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I suspected that Cliff Booth was based on Gene Lebell. I suspected that because it reminded me too much. If you watch that movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there's a scene when the Cliff Booth character fights and gets the best of the Bruce Lee character. Now, for some reason in that movie, Bruce Lee was acting like an asshole, which, he was beating up on extras and people on the set, and that's not characteristic of Bruce Lee, But it reminded me a lot of the incident that allegedly, and I say allegedly because we weren't there, but everybody that was there said it happened. It was an incident that occurred between Gene Lebell, who at that time was about 60, 59 years old, so 30 years ago. He was about 58, 59. And Steven Seagal, who was in the prime of his career at that point. Now, this is around 1991, so I don't know exactly what movie it might have been, but if they were filming in 1991, I'm thinking it might have been Under Siege, because it came out in 92. And anyway, the story goes that, this is when Steven Seagal was the shit, all right? This is when he was the shit. And Gene Lebell was on the set as a advisor and maybe as a stuntman too. I can't quite remember that. But the story goes that Steven Seagal was like just fucking with people on the set, man. And he has a history of doing that. John Leguizamo, who was in that movie Executive Decision, came out in 1996, said Steven Seagal was doing that shit to him, fucking with him, kicking him extra hard when he didn't have to, being extra rough with him, kind of hurting him and shit, man, because he was in that movie too. But anyway, Gene Lebell didn't like this shit. He didn't like seeing him beating up on extras and people on the set that didn't know how to fight like that. So Gene Lebell told him, I'll kick your ass, right? And, this is when, like I said, he was big-headed. Thinking nobody could fuck with him on shit, Steven Seagal. And I think he said something like, no one can defeat my Aikido. My Aikido can block any type of grapple, any type of, I can counter anything with my Aikido, whatever, right? So Gene Lebell went after him. Then Keto didn't do shit. And he grappled Steven Seagal, had him in a chokehold, and Steven Seagal like, wait, I wasn't ready, right? So he claimed that he wasn't ready. So they did it again, right? This time he said he was ready. And once again, the Aikido didn't do shit. Gene Lebell went right through that bullshit, because it ain't the fucking movies, and choked his ass out to the point where he passed out. This is what everybody says. Gene Lebell choked his ass out until he passed out on the set. And they said that he was out for a while. And not only was he out, but he shitted on himself. Yep, Steven Seagal was knocked out. He literally knocked the shit out of him. So that just goes to show you the reputation of Gene Lebell. So that's why I suspected that scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was sort of based on that. And I deduced that maybe Cliff Booth was based on Gene Lebell. You know? And the thing about it, Gene Lebell was a nice guy, as long as you didn't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? But he was a real nice guy. Total opposite of Steven Seagal. Wasn't full of himself. But, and I've heard the stories about him. He was pretty much the first guy to fight an MMA match, Gene Lebell. He fought a boxer who went by the name of, I think his name was Milo Savage, and he defeated Milo Savage. And that's considered the first true mixed martial arts bout. So just want to go ahead and do a tribute to Gene Lebell, and you all who are familiar with him, don't feel feel free to put some comments in there talking about this guy if you're familiar with him.